January, the month of love, right? So this month, I want to really start talking about relationships. I want to kind of focus on that this month. Relationships with other people, whether it's a romantic partnership or just a relationship with friends or coworkers. We'll talk about that this month. And my most favorite relationship talk of all is our relationship with ourselves. Okay. You are going to be with yourself. You're going to live with yourself for your whole life, right? You are the person you are going to spend the most time with your entire life. So for me, I mean, I didn't think about that the first half of my life. And now the most important relationship in my life is my relationship with myself. My relationship on not judging myself, not beating myself up, loving myself unconditionally, just really being so content to be alone with myself, alone with my thoughts, become my own best friend. My future self is my own best mentor. Now, that doesn't mean I don't love my friends. I love my friends very, very much. And the reason I can love my friends so much and love my family so, so much and love all the people in the world so, so much is because I know how to love unconditionally. Now, that doesn't mean I can always get there, but I understand it and I understand what it means now, right? Um, so loving unconditionally. So these are all kinds of things we're going to be talking about this month. So no, I'm not exactly sure where I am in terms of what I said before my mic was on and what I said after. But so many of my clients, I ask them, what do you think about your relationship with yourself? And most people are like, well, I don't know. I don't know what you mean. First of all, they might say that. I don't know what you mean. Some people might say all their thoughts about themselves, which is all your relationship is with yourself or with other people. We're going to talk about that. But what are your thoughts about you? And most people will tell you their thoughts like they're just facts. Well, I'm a little overweight and I can be kind of loud. I'm nice. I love my kids. Sometimes I do really dumb things and or whatever. So it's just this compilation of thoughts about ourselves. And here's the thing, all thoughts are optional. So, my question is, what's the downside to thinking really amazing thoughts about yourself? So some people might say the downside is, well, I might seem arrogant or cocky or, just conceited. And what I want to offer to you is that's only when you are thinking amazing thoughts about yourself that you are better than somebody else, right? Um, that you're better or worse than somebody else. When you're just thinking thoughts like, I'm an amazing person because of just being you, being human, okay? I'm going to preach on that is being human. You're 100% worthy and 100% lovable and 100% enough exactly as you are. And then you can talk about what makes you unique, right? It's fun to think about what makes us unique. So, um, I challenge you to really do some thinking, do some journaling on that. Who am I? You to think about that. And I want you to see, where do you go for that answer? Do you go to your past? Do you go to your future? Or do you go to who am I right now? Where does it come from? Now, if you've followed me or worked with me, you know that I am a huge proponent of looking to your future self for answers, because your future self, you get to create and design whoever she or he is. Our past only exists in our thoughts about it, just as our future only exists in our thoughts about it. So when you focus and you create this future self of this person you want to be, you get to decide and you get to be that person now. Okay. You might think, well, I've done bad things in my past, or I've never been able to do this other thing, or I've only ever had this much money, or I've only gotten this far in my career, or there's only so much I can do. I want you to just rewrite that story. We'll do that another day. Today, we're focusing on your future self and what are your thoughts about your future self and about you now. Okay. When you can develop a strong, solid relationship with yourself, you can build self confidence. Um, I talked about the difference between confidence and self confidence before. So, just a quick recap, confidence is just confidence in your ability to do something because you've done it so many times over and over and over again. Self confidence is your confidence in yourself that no matter what, you can try anything. You can do anything because you know that you're not going to beat yourself up or judge yourself if you quote unquote fail. And that you have this confidence in yourself to keep trying and keep doing the thing. My coach taught me about using an analogy like pouring a glass of water. I'll use my tea. I know how to make a cup of tea, right? I have a lot of confidence that I know how to make a cup of tea. Although there are like different water temperatures and different things you're supposed to know. I just put hot water in a tea bag in and I'm good. Um, so I have a lot of confidence that I can make a cup of tea. Now, if I spilled the tea or if I wasn't really thinking and I pushed the cold water button on my water cooler instead of the hot water button, I wouldn't think something's gone terribly wrong. I don't know how to make tea. Oh, I would just say, oh, that's interesting. I did it the wrong way this time, or I did it differently this time. But I wouldn't lose all confidence in myself and my ability to make a cup of tea. Okay. Um, so if our relationship with ourself only exists in our thoughts about ourselves, and we talked about, Amanda says, hell yeah, girl, there is no downside to thinking amazing thoughts about ourselves, right? Not because we're better than other people, but because we're us, we're we, we're we. And we get to be with us. We're the only person we're going to spend our entire lives with. Our entire lives. Day in, day out, 24/7. Let's have a really good relationship with that person who we are. Okay. So, our relationship with ourselves is all in our thoughts about it. And I'm going to introduce to you the concept of our relationship with other people simply exists in our thoughts about them. So sometimes people think, well, there's me, there's the other person, and then there's like this separate entity that is the relationship. But what I want to offer is the relationship is simply your thoughts about them and their thoughts about you. Okay. And your thoughts about the relationship itself. But so here's a little chart. Let's see if I can do it like this. So see these little people? Here's the people. There's you. And there's, okay, this is really weird. Okay, so there's you and there's the other person. The relationship is just each of your thoughts about it. So if you want to have an amazing relationship with somebody, am I frozen? That's so weird. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm frozen. I'm just going to keep talking. Oh boy. That's so weird. Okay. Well, I don't know if I froze on the live or not. So I'm just going to keep talking. Um okay. Thank you, Amanda. All right. So so your relationship is just your thoughts about the other person. So to have an amazing relationship, You just get to think amazing thoughts about your partner, right? And you don't have to make anything they say or do mean anything about you. And you just get to decide, how do I want to feel in this relationship, right? How do I want to be? So you get to show up in the relationship how you want to show up, no matter what they say or do. Now, that's not to say that if somebody's hurting you, that you have to stay in the relationship, right? But we make the things that other people do mean something about us, something about them, right? You think about Valentine's Day coming up. Maybe you have expectations of your partner to do or say certain things. Okay. You get to decide, no matter what they say or do, how you want to think and feel about that person. So if you want to feel love, you just have to think loving thoughts. You get to think loving thoughts. And we think our thoughts and our feelings aren't choices, but they're 100% choices. We get to choose. Um, so if you decide, I want to feel love in this relationship, how, what thoughts are you going to have to think no matter what they do? What thoughts are you going to have to think about that? Right? And then you can say, well, okay, if I'm feeling love for this person, what actions am I going to take or not take? Right? What am I going to do? What do I want to offer this person who I have loving thoughts and feelings towards? What do I want to give to them? Um, yeah. How do you want to think about yourself in your relationship? And again, this can all, you can just put that on yourself. Who do I want to be? How do I want to act? Right? How do I want to show up? What do I want to offer myself? Right? You can do it like that too. Um, so you're, back to our relationship with ourselves, right? So our thoughts about ourselves are a combination of just our thoughts about who we are as a person, um, our thoughts about what we do or don't do, our actions, right? Our thoughts about those kind of things. Um, our thoughts about our past, what we've done in the past, how we were raised, where we came from, we did, right? And what I would love for you to really start exploring again is just thinking and feeling about who you are from the future, who you want to be, right? So I've talked before about how we can't feel other people's emotions. So if we want to feel love, we have to feel we have to think loving thoughts and create that feeling of love in us. So if someone's loving us, we don't feel their emotions. We don't feel their love. They're thinking and feeling love, and they may take actions. And then when they take actions, we get to think about those actions however we want. So, say, for example, your partner brings you flowers, and flowers are your favorite thing in the world to get flowers. You have thoughts about that, like, oh my gosh, my partner loves me so much. My partner was thinking of me. I love these flowers. They're beautiful. And you feel love. Okay. Now, say somebody else, their partner brings them flowers. They may look at the flowers and say, you just killed a whole dozen roses. You chopped these roses down. How rude. How could you spend so much money on these roses? That's just terrible. And you're not going to feel loving feelings, even though the other person may be feeling love. You don't feel their love because you have different thoughts about it. And I love to think of it this way. Uh, this This was an episode in Supernatural. So not all of you have seen Supernatural. I know some of you have. But this guy threw a coin in a wishing well and he wished that this woman loved him, right? And she became it went bad, the wish went bad. She became obsessed with him. She's like, "But I love you more than anything. I love you more than anything." And she was just crazy stalker loving. And he's like, okay, after a while he's like, "Well, okay, this isn't right." Like I wanted her to love me. This doesn't feel right. Right. So when you have that person, and you may think, maybe a more realistic example is someone from your life who has professed love to you, and you're like, oh, I'm not, I'm not really thinking and feeling much love for this person, even though they're loving you. So we can't feel other people's love. We think loving thoughts to create the feeling of love. So think on that as you're in your relationship with your spouse or your partner or yourself. And you can think about how you can meet your own needs, right? When you have an amazing relationship with yourself and you're thinking amazing, loving thoughts about yourself, and you can take incredible actions to do loving things for yourself, and you're not waiting around for somebody else to take care of you or do those loving things. It feels amazing. And then you can just be free to just keep thinking amazing thoughts about your partner, whether they take care of your needs or not. And again, you can just decide, well, there are certain things I expect in a relationship, and that's totally fine. Doesn't mean you don't want to have standards or what you like in a relationship, what makes you feel love because of your thoughts about it. And you just get to choose. You don't have to make it mean anything terrible about you or the relationship or the other person. So that's what I wanted to talk about today is connecting with yourself first, thinking amazing thoughts about yourself first. Maybe do a little journaling on who you are and who you want to be. Oh, I like that, Amanda. Filling yourself up so you spill over with love for others is the way to go. I love that. Just oozes right out. We can go pretty far with that metaphor. Just the love oozing out of your body. Yes, you have so much more love to give and forgiveness. When you can not judge yourself, you're going to stop judging all the other people. And when you can not put expectations and conditions on loving yourself, you can love other people unconditionally and then just make a choice from there. If you want to be in a relationship with them, or if you're just going to say, I can have love for you, but I'm choosing not to be in a relationship with you. It's all good. It's all good. All right. Month of love. Start with yourself. And I put out some journal prompts today. Not all of them are focused on connecting with yourself, but maybe I'll focus some next week when I was going to put out weekly journal prompts instead of every day. I started to think that was a little tedious, but I don't know. Maybe you like it. But then you can always find it. I think I did hashtag journal prompts. So if you're ever like, oh, what should I do? We're going to start building those up in the group. And really, really, really want to encourage you to genuinely start connecting with yourself. What do you want? Right? First of all, with yourself, what thoughts are you thinking about yourself? And then we can move on to what are your goals? What do you want in life? And is it truly what you want? Or is it some kind of expectation that somebody along the way has put on you? Or maybe you put on yourself in the past when you weren't thinking such loving thoughts about yourself. Because now working with me, you're going to start thinking some loving thoughts. It's good. Again, no downside. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Make it a great week. Do your journaling. I'm telling you, when you can get those thoughts out of your head, become the watcher of your thoughts, separate out the facts from your thoughts and feelings about them, brings so much awareness. It doesn't mean you have to change your thoughts. And I'm not here to tell you you have to think super happy Pollyanna thoughts. Just be aware. Okay. All right. I love you. I will see you later. Bye bye.